this battle whatsoever. Whatever Fern says to me, I will respond to with dignity and grace, two things she does not possess.
For years, the British class system's made me its bitch, and tonight I'm gonna make Ivo Graham mine.
I imagine the main thing Fern will be roasting me about is my privilege. I only hope she can keep the envy out of her voice while she's doing so.
I'm gonna own Ivo in the roast tonight, because he owns everything else in life.
We've got a good old-fashioned class war here, people. It's England versus Scotland. Upper class versus zero class. Super posh versus super gonorrhea. Give it up for Ivo Graham. And Fern Brady. Hey, step on up, battlers. Now here are your rules. Rule 1, it's 5 jokes apiece. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. And rule 3, please do your best job. By the way, Ivo, a job is where poor people perform tasks in exchange for money. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Well, I would normally say ladies first, but Fern used to be a stripper in Glasgow, so it's ladies in a very broad sense. Yeah, let's have Fern up.
Fern, are you ready? Audience, are we ready?
Ivo went to Eton and then on at Oxford. I'm not saying he lived a charmed life, but the only thing that's been filled with more privilege is Meghan Markle's fanny.
I've been extremely lucky. So, Fern, I watched all of your comedy videos to prepare for this roast, which was a mistake, because it's very difficult to roast someone whose work you respect, and I genuinely think you're a brilliant stand-up with a lovely take on the world. Just joking, couldn't understand a bloody word she was saying. Not having a go, Fern, you're a brilliant stand-up, but all of your shows should be called Self-Pity with subtitles.
Ivo went to Eton, where he claims never to have seen any homosexual activity. It's pretty unusual, but I guess it's hard to see when you're being blindfolded and hogtied, then butt-fucked by the Sultan of Brunei's nephews.
I've been extremely lucky. Fern actually used to suffer from OCD, which must have been an absolute nightmare, given her whole life has been a total fucking mess. In a way, she had to become a stand-up, because the only other career option available to a Scottish person with OCD is organised crime, and then reorganised crime, and then reorganised time 6 more times, or your family dies.
Ivo is so inbred that when he has a baby with his lovely fiancée, Hindus will worship it as a god instead of the multi-limbed freak it actually is.
Fern actually did a show at the Edinburgh Festival about not being invited to a female comedian's brunch. As a result of that, the organiser of the brunch had to issue an apology to all the audience members who saw Fern's dog-shit show. Seriously, Fern, how does it feel that the only person with less female friends in the industry than you is Bill Cosby?
Like Jimmy Carr, Ivo was a virgin well into his 20s. And he still had sex with only 2 women, presumably because he feels guilty for his ancestors raping my country for centuries.
Better to eat 1 5-star meal than 1,000 pot noodles. So...
Your parents paid £34,000 a year for your school and we're on the same TV programmes. I worked out they paid a total of 240 grand over 5 years because they'd rather go skiing than spend any of his childhood with him.
Fingers crossed they're in Verbier when this is broadcast. Fern actually, while at university, used to moonlight as a stripper, literally in the light of the moon. None of the actual strip clubs would accept her application. Just a mad woman twerking against a lamppost. Fern actually claims to have stripped for relatives of Colonel Gaddafi. The Colonel says it's the most effective torture method he's ever used.
Last joke!
Yeah, I stripped to pay my way through uni. I got a degree in life experience. You came out of uni with the same STDs as your dad. Anyway.
I didn't, Fern. We've covered it. I didn't lose my virginity until after university. It's very rare that I can use that as a comeback, but I'm delighted to in this instance.
Ivo got a 2-1 in French from Oxford University. He first fell in love with the language when he heard the phrase "C'est seulement gay si vous répondez," which means what, Ivo?
I believe, and it's lovely to hear you mangling 2 languages tonight. I believe the sentence that you said there was, "It's only gay if you push back." That's literally the rules. Fern, when I studied French at university, Fern actually studied Arabic. She tried wearing a burqa, but her eyes are so far apart that she couldn't see through the hole.
Let's hear it! Ivo Graham from Brady! Let's see what the judges think. Who did you like, Jimmy?
I mean, I liked the battle. I thought there was an absolutely marvellous roast battle. That was wonderful. Jonathan, what did you make of these two?
I really enjoyed it. I love the way you owned being bummed on a regular basis. I mean, you were saying no, but your eyes were definitely saying yes. I liked Fern. Your delivery was quite low-key. It reminded me of someone calling the Samaritans, but then you zinged a few in there as well. And I like where she was coming from, so I'm putting Fern ahead. Well done, Fern.
OK.
My own boyfriend said you're never going to beat Ivo because he's more likeable than you.
Wow. Well, he is a lot more likeable than you, but you did make me... No, you made me laugh more, but you were great as well.
Thank you, Jonathan. Everything I learned about disrespecting people I learned from your chat show.
Catherine, what did you make of these two? What do you think?
You know, it was tough, but I could tell it was good. Ivo, I found one little hole that's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. And it is not the preferred hole of the nephews of the Sultan of Brunei. You said that Fern had less female friends than Bill Cosby, but even a stripper knows it's fewer female friends than Bill Cosby. Yay!
Oh.
Catherine, you're like my dad, too busy working to spend time with your child.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
It was 2 really, really great roasts from 2 incredible comics. I gave it to Fern.
Well, I mean, Fern, I guess you know what that means because it's between the 3 of us. But Ivo, for what it's worth, I thought you both had brilliant jokes. But I thought your comebacks on her jokes, the little toppers that you put on there, you were so quick and so clever and so funny. But I think 2-1, Fern, you got it.
Well done, Fern.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fern wins!
My tactic is to say meaner things about Chris Ramsey than Chris Ramsey says about me.
Game plan for this, the ultimate goal, I think, is to make him cry.
The only thing I'm afraid of with regards to Chris is insulting him too much because he's already on about 9 Comedy Central shows, so I might do my career some damage.
The only thing that scares me about Tom is if I woke up in the middle of the night and he was standing over my bed, masturbating.
Are you guys ready for blood? Yeah! Then give it up for Tom Rosenthal! And Chris Ramsey! Gentlemen. Fellas, here are the rules of roast battle. Rule 1, 5 jokes each. Rule 2, nothing's off limits except for physical contact. And Rule 3, this is for Chris, Speak slowly and clearly so the people at home can understand what the fuck you're saying. Who do you want to go first, Jimmy?
Well, Tom is in plebs, which is great, I love it, and Chris is an actual pleb. Let's let the actual pleb go first.
Chris, you ready? Yeah. Audience, are we ready? Yeah! Let's roast!
Oh, yeah. I am a little bit scummy, and, I have got a sort of silver spoon privileged little fucker standing before me. I can't work out whether you got an Uber here or you are carried by Hordo. But Tom's dad is actually famous football pundit Jim Rosenthal. Tom and his dad are so into football that they even make his mum switch ends at half-time.
Chris is very active on social media. I'm a big fan of your Twitter habit of tweeting a nice picture of the empty venue you're performing in that night. I actually started doing the same thing, which is why I've been tweeting pictures of your mum's vagina. Actually, quite similar to one of your venues in that it's been filled by hundreds of drunk men with bad tastes.
Good Lord, this coming from a man who looks like he buys breast milk on eBay. Just let that massive laugh die down there. Tom studied philosophy at King's College London. Pondering such conundrums as, if a tree falls in the forest, is Tom still an annoying, whiny-voiced little twat?
I mean, yeah, I did a degree. Did you do a degree?
Half a degree.
What was it in? Baseless self-confidence? I'll get you into a little secret. Chris is actually very unpopular in the comedy industry. He's got more TV shows than Friends, this guy. He's less welcome in comedy dressing rooms than Louis C.K.'s penis. Tell you, Chris, honestly, you could get your dick out in front of most British comedians and start wanking in the face. They'd still say, well, at least he's not fucking talking to me.
Tom looks young and old at the same time. I don't know if he's 14 or 56. He also looks like a pigeon.
You have the hair of a Lego lesbian. It looks like a manga character fucked a thatched roof. It's so bad, for your next birthday, I'm buying you aggressive chemotherapy. It's a gift. It's still a gift.
Tom sits on his hand for ages, for like 20 minutes, till it goes totally numb, so it feels like someone else is wanking off his dad.
Your fans are idiots. The only people who enjoy your comedy would enjoy a fidget spinner more. I went to one of your gigs recently. It was like sitting in the middle of one of those cages Donald Trump locks disabled Mexican children in. With less hope.
Rise, Joe!
Tom is 30, single, still lives with his mum and dad. Sorry, still lives with his dad. Sorry, still lives off his dad. He led such a privileged upbringing, I know for a fact that Tom didn't see a black man till he was 5 years old, and it was when his dad introduced him to John Barnes. He walked away from that meeting saying, and I quote, "Daddy, why is that man made of chocolate? The racist little cunt."
That is actually a story that I told on his TV show, and he can get away with stealing it because nobody watched it. Great comedians speak truth to power and hold politicians to account, which is why Chris got thrown off Soccer AM for saying bumming too much. A bit harsh, I thought, getting thrown off Soccer AM for saying bumming too much, considering it's only the answer to the question, what's Tom Rosenthal doing to your dad over there? Yes, I fucked your mother and your dad! Yeah, your whole family, mate!
Let's hear for Tom Rosenthal and Chris Ramsey! Yeah, come on over. All right. Jimmy, judges, what do you think about this battle of white privilege?
I mean, I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Tom, you're not Jewish.
No, not...
Someone needs to tell your face.
I'll get on that, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Jonathan, what did you make of this?
You both like talking about fucking each other's parents of both gender. But he's right as well. You do look young and old, and you do look like a pigeon.
Can I just say, it is great to be being judged by two professional comedians and one guy who's friends with Ricky Gervais. It's really...
You shut your mouth, Tom. You shut your mouth.
Yes,
I grew up watching Jonathan Ross. I watch Graham Norton now, but I grew up watching Jonathan Ross.
OK.
Well, it's gone horribly wrong for Jonathan suddenly.
But despite it all turning on me, I'm going to give it to Tom because I think he was just a little bit funnier than Chris, although you were both amazing.
Thank you,
so I'm giving it to you.
Good work. Catherine, who do you have? If we know it's close, who do you have?
It was so close, and I love these comedians very much. They're the ones that people call when Joel Dommett is busy wanking online. They are absolutely incredible. Guys, who is John Barnes? Is he made of chocolate?
Well, we don't know for sure.
I mean, no comment. I just can't... I'm not...
Was it?
Not again.
Doesn't seem racist, seems delicious, I'll be honest with you.
He was so close. For me, by a beak, it was Tom.
Wow. I thought it was incredible. Hair like a Lego lesbian. And then you wouldn't mind aggressive chemo. That is what this is all about.
Nice.
I mean, just genuinely helpful. Genuinely helpful comment. I thought it was brilliant. I think I had Chris by a gnat, but Tom's got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, he wins again, Tom Rosenthal! Huggy Sandler again!
Alfie Brown is my ex-boyfriend and the father of my 2 children.
Jessie has an absolute litany of my defects that she can call upon.
General body odour,
Alcoholism,
lack of direction in life,
mental health problems,
his lack of money,
pennilessness.
the fact that he loses all of his belongings, even his family. He's lost us.
You might just know Jessie as sweet and innocent looking. I'm one of the only ones who knows that she's evil, and that she fucks like a mad pig.
Give it up for Jessie Kane! And Alfie Brown! Hey! Battlers, step on up. Let me tell you the rules. Rule 1, it's 5 jokes each. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. Rule 3, remember, it's not too late to pull out. Except for you, Alfie. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
This is a couple, right? Or that you were a couple and you've got 2 kids together.
Yeah.
Well, and I can see there's still chemistry between you. I'm guessing cocaine and antidepressants. I think we should let cocaine go first.
Hey, you ready, Alfie?
I'm ready, yeah.
Are we ready? Close loose!
The only reason I ever wanted to fuck Jessie is that I'm too afraid to come out as a paedophile. But seriously, we shouldn't be mean because Jessie is what's known as trans age. Okay? Whilst she may appear to be a fully grown adult, we should respect her right to identify as a juvenile who's addicted to jizz. Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Alfie, do you remember you once drank a beaker of my breast milk?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a confession to make. It wasn't breast milk. I wanked off your dad. Just kidding. It was a blowjob. Me and your dad get on. Just get on.
One of the most difficult things about being in a relationship with Jessie is trying to fill her almost perpetual desire for dick. Every night she'd come into the bedroom wearing her moon and star fleece bottoms, her pink and purple cartoon children's t-shirt, face covered in Vaseline and hair in pigtails, and hiss, "Let's have sex!" And then suddenly, I'm the bad guy because I don't want to. My whole relationship with Jessie was like being repeatedly sexually abused by Tracy Beaker.
I'm going to make you regret that at Peppa Pig World on Friday. The other day, our 3-year-old found a £10 note on the street, which means that Alfie can now no longer even claim to be the family's secondary financial contributor. He's the bread loser, laptop loser, key loser, bag loser, loser.
I want to get back with Jessie. I really do, because I'm so bored of fucking people I respect enough to care how well I'm going down on them.
Throughout our relationship, Alfie hid how much he drank. But the great thing about being broken up is that now we have this new level of honesty. He tells me how much he drinks. I tell him how big my new boyfriend's dick is. Yeah! It's amazing that even though he's been alive for 7 less years than you, his dick has managed to grow at least 2 inches longer. That's a dick with a get-up-and-go attitude. Such a shame your dick has the same work ethic as you.
Amazing how motivated my dick is in other people's pussies. Jessie's mood fluctuates almost as much as her weight. So when you see her naked, it's difficult to tell whether you're looking at a stretch mark or a self-harm scar.
I want my iPhone charger back. Alfie is a massive, massive football fan. He's more committed to Liverpool Football Club than he is to his own family. He'll give up his time, he'll lie so we can watch games. Liverpool Football Club don't know your name. Your kids know your name. Well, I remind them just before you arrive so your feelings don't get hurt. And when you're away, I show them a photo of Anita Dobson so they know what you look like.
Jessie K! Alfie Brown! Hug it up! Oh, come on over. Jimmy, judges, who gets custody of the kids?
I mean, I think they should be taken away from both of them, shouldn't they? I thought very good. I mean, that first joke I thought was great. I think you do look like methadone for paedophiles. I thought for me, the top 2 jokes, sexually abused by Tracy Beaker really made me laugh. Yes. And the, is it a stretch mark? Is it a self-harm scar? I thought was the perfect roast joke. It was incredibly brutal, personal. To say that to the mother of your children. Well played, my friend, well played. So I had Alfie down as a winner. What did you have, Jonathan?
Alfie, am I right in thinking that you were a part-time Uber driver?
I was an Uber driver, yeah.
I believe, and I'm quoting directly here, Alfie said, "I would rather be an Uber driver than appear on shit panel shows." Speaking as someone who presents shit panel shows, we concur. We are good with that decision. Jonathan, what did you make of the jokes?
Alfie came out very hard at the beginning, straight in with the pedo, straight in with the jizz. At times, I genuinely felt a little uncomfortable watching it because it did feel like, genuinely, you were just expressing things that were on your mind about each other. But then I began to enjoy it in a surprising way. Like when you walk a dog in the winter and it does a shit and you put it in the bag, and before you throw it away, you begin to enjoy the warmth of it in your hand. And so you hold on to that feeling. It's a bit... you know, an unexpected treat there. But I think if I had to go just by a whisper, I would say I'm giving it to Jessie.
I went Alfie, you've gone Jessie.
Sorry to make you decide.
Catherine, it's all down to you.
Two very amazing comedians. I think you're so talented. I love you as a couple. Alfie's the kind of guy you meet traveling and he's fine for a month and then you have to beat him to death with his acoustic guitar. And Jessie is just like a really deceptive like duality to you. Like, you know, this one time at band camp, I murdered a bunch of guys and baked them into lasagna. Like, you know. Look, I love you very much. You know me. I'm a single mother too. I'm voting for Jessie.
That means you got it, Jessie. Jessie's our winner. Your winner this evening, Jessie Carr!
The tactics I'm going to use in this battle are racism.
The secret to winning a roast battle, as Sun Tzu said in The Art of War, is to really tear into that cunt.
I think I'm going to win the battle, and that is based on evidence and knowledge and the fact that I'm a superior comic.
Who's going to win this roast battle? I think Daniel Sloss. Psych, it's me, Phil Wang.
These two tore the roof off roast battle last season, and we're so excited to have him back. It's Asian versus Caucasian, geek versus freak, kung fu versus iron brew. Show some love for Phil Wang. And Daniel Sloss. Gentlemen, Rule 1, 5 jokes each. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except physical contact. And Rule 3 is there because we need 3 rules. You do the math. Actually, Phil's gonna do the math. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
I think Phil should go first because Catherine's evening doesn't start until someone gets that Wang out.
You ready, baby?
I'm ready, Brian.
Let's do it. Are we ready, audience?
Daniel, you creepy-looking androgynous motherfucker. Daniel can't actually wear a kilt because people just think he's transitioning. I mean, you look like Ellen DeGeneres, but somehow older and more lesbian.
Good one, Rice Paddy McGuinness. Last season, I destroyed Desiree Birch, a beautiful African-American woman, and this season I'm up against Phil Wang, a Malaysian, whatever gender-neutral sign that is. It's nice to know that Comedy Central see me as the Aryan Hammer. And like most Scotsmen drunk at 3 a.m., watch me fucking destroy this greasy Chinese.
Good one, Yawn Connery. Daniel, how are you so successful? Your comedy sucks, man! I mean... I would say you're as funny as waterboarding, but even waterboarding has at least one decent gag. No, I mean, you were good at Home Alone, but since then, what have you done?
Good one, Bruce Lee Jenner. Phil has a 15-minute Netflix special, and I have 2-hour-long ones. No punchline. Phil Wang calls himself Phil Wang. He full names himself like a fucking Pokemon. If you say Phil Wang's name in front of the mirror 3 times, that's the most Phil Wang has ever been mentioned.
Good one, Fanny Lennox. In 2012, Daniel released his first and last stand-up DVD in what is known among comedians as the deal that finally killed off the multi-billion-dollar DVD industry. As he's mentioned, he now has 2 Netflix specials coming up, so say goodbye to that, folks. If you want to, you can watch his show online, but you have to stream it off the dark web, because he dies so hard in it, it's technically a snuff film.
There's a real good one playing the walk, Johnson. Phil is short for Philip, and Wang is short because he's Asian. Phil was born in Malaysia, but he moved to Bath when he was 16, and his parents moved him to Bath because none of the Malaysian men were interested in ass-fucking him anymore now that he was fully legal.
Daniel, you gangly, bug-eyed bastard. Daniel sort of fancies himself as sort of like Scottish hero, you know, like Braveheart, William Wallace. Except the only people shouting freedom are his audiences when they get to leave his dogshit shows. Daniel's actually like Mel Gibson in a lot of ways. He hates Jews, and he's not a comedian.
Phil actually has a lice problem. He can't stop eating it. Phil's actually been phoning a lot of my friends in the last couple of weeks, trying to find out my weaknesses, my secrets, looking for the proverbial Phil Wang in my armor.
Last joke!
Good one, Alexander Graham Bellend. Now, you might not know this, but Daniel has 5 tattoos, or a cunt's dozen. He sure loves those tattoos, because you can take the boy out of Scotland, but you can't take the needle out of his arm.
There's a real good one, Takeshi's asshole. Phil was in a sketch group called Daphne, despite the fact that he looks like Velma. Whenever they were making posters, he insisted that his full name, Philip Wang, be spelled in italics, because that way his name also has 2 slanty eyes.
That was explosive. That was awesome.
I mean, that's a fantastic roast right there. Phil, I don't know why you're here. There's nothing the matter with my laptop.
I think it's in case you malfunction, Jimmy. Actually, I think it's good your career's starting to cool down, because your head looks like it has a low melting point.
What do you make of these two, Jonathan?
Well, I enjoyed it very much. I could clearly tell you were both enjoying each other's performance, and you're clearly friends, and it was funny, it was hard-hitting, but at the same time, there was genuine warmth in there, something which I like, which Catherine likes, which Jimmy has never experienced. I think I'm calling it marginally just ahead by the length of his cock, perhaps it's Phil.
Oh. So nothing in it. Nothing in it.
Thanks, Rosie. And I hope you finally catch that crazy wabbit.
I will.
What do you think, Catherine?
There were so many good jokes. I really loved the names back and forth, but I'm not a fan of the racism. And this exact same thing happened, Series 1. We had another Chinese comedian who was also very funny.
Remember his name?
His name was also Phil Wang. Whereas Daniel Sloss and I have been friends for years. His mother and I are in the same book club, which is why I'm not allowed to fuck him anymore. And, you know, he's very famous. Like heart disease, though, he's much bigger deal in Scotland. Much bigger. It's amazing that you can be on Conan 8 times and have 2 hours on Netflix, and still no one really gives a fuck who you are. Like, that's amazing. I love you both. You know that. I think you're 2 of the best comedians that I have ever seen in my life. For me, though, I had just by 1 joke, Daniel.
It's incredibly close. I had it pretty much even, and I think just because it was my favourite joke, Phil is short for Philip, Wang is short because he's Asian. I think I'm going to give it to Daniel Sloss.
Daniel Sloss!
Wanted us to do the show together because she wants us to do more things as a couple.
Really excited to be doing roast battle, especially with Catherine.
And I agreed to do the show because I'm hoping it will break us up. Who do I think will win? I imagine it'll be Sarah. Men have a sexist advantage and people usually think she is one, so.
I find her really attractive, like I think she's proper fit, really respect her, can't wait. Catherine Ryan, obviously, not my Catherine. Shit, Catherine's going down.
For our first ever lesbian couple on Roast Battle! Please go fucking crazy for Sarah Keyworth! And Catherine Bohart! Ladies, step on up. Here are the rules. Rule 1, it's 5 jokes each. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. Rule 3, if you find yourself in a tight spot, try using fewer fingers. Jimmy, who should you go first?
Well, normally I would say ladies first, so I guess Catherine?
All right. Kat, are you ready? Audience, are we ready? Yeah! Let's go!
Sarah and I are a couple. She's gay. I'm bisexual, not on purpose. I just can't tell which Sarah is. I'm not alone. Sarah's Jewish, and when she was born, her rabbi spent 12 hours trying to circumcise her before he realized she wasn't a boy.
It is true, I am Jewish, and when I first told my parents that I was dating Catherine, they said, haven't the Jews suffered enough? Catherine actually went to a Catholic convent school, and when she left, she was voted most likely to go to hell. The only one going to hell is me, because that is what I call her vagina.
Sarah doesn't wear a bra.
It's true.
Yeah. She doesn't, which would be good for easy access if there was anything to see. Sarah likes to play around with gender. She says she's gender fluid, right? Which she is in a way if the gender is teenage boy and the fluid is tears.
I've got to get wet somehow. Catherine is 5 years older than me, and she often accuses me of being jealous of all of her exes, which I am, to be fair, but that's only because they got to sleep with you whilst you were still young. And waxing. I mean, apparently she has OCD, but it's a fucking mess down there. I do really like it, though.
Doesn't matter, you're never seeing it again.
Okay.
Sarah thinks she's one of the lads. She likes to be a man. She likes to act like a man. I mean, she's halfway there because you can't make me come. Sarah likes to be one of the lads so much she asked Comedy Central if she could get paid 20% more than me.
Catherine is from one of those small town places in Ireland where everyone knows everyone has had sex with Catherine. Catherine actually played a fiddle in an Irish band, and when I say a fiddle, I mean she wanked them all off.
Last joke.
Sarah makes a massive deal of the fact that she's never slept with a man, as though that were a choice. And to be fair, it was a choice. I think it was a choice, sort of in the same way that Jonathan Ross chose to leave the BBC. Or Jimmy Carr chose to pay back those taxes. Or Catherine Ryan chose to be a single mother. They're choices, just not choices anyone here made. So
I'm not with her. This has been really fun. Actually, I don't have a last joke. But I did want to take this opportunity to say, because I don't know if you know, but as two queer women, we're so unlikely to be on the TV together again at any point. And when I was growing up, there was no representation like this on the television ever. I never got to see two gay women on the screen, and so I just wanted to mark this occasion, if that's okay. I'd like to actually say something. Catherine, I will never marry you.
Keyworth! Come on, hug each other. Oh, come on, you gotta hug each other.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I love you.
That was awesome. Jimmy, judges, who'd you like in the battle of Daphne versus Shaggy from Scooby-Doo?
Oh, the little fella. I mean, I thought you were both absolutely fantastic. Can we just, how did you guys meet? Were you both comedians at the time, or?
Yeah.
How did you first get together?
We met during a competition, and Catherine didn't like me at first because I didn't think she was gay. I'm still not sure.
I mean, it strikes me as a bisexual, this is the ideal, a woman that looks like a man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the inverse is Jimmy, who looks more like a lesbian than I do.
I've certainly got something of the K.D. Langs about me. Thank you very much. Jonathan, what did you think of these amazing
I thought you were both amazing, so funny. Catherine's gender fluid material was super funny, but then when Sarah shot back with I have to get wet somehow, I thought that was an amazing riposte, and it seemed to be coming from the heart, and I feel for you there. But when Catherine decided to throw it at us, I mean, that was either very, very brave or very foolhardy. Because on the one hand, courageous, on the other hand, we are the judges, so you must be fucking stupid. But let's not forget Sarah's incredible ending, the proposal sequence, where it started what seemed to be a rather out of place in this environment, actual genuine call for more representation on TV, then turned into a slightly mawkish and emotional, genuine proposal that, let's face it, we all felt really fucking uncomfortable thinking, is she actually going to propose here? But then to pull the proposal and say, and we had this on tape, I will never marry you, and you know that is now contractually binding. I think that really was a barnstormer finish, so that's why I am giving it to Sarah for that.
Okay, well. Catherine, your thoughts?
Wow. I think what this country needs is more female comedians called Sarah and Catherine. Not enough. The good news is you can change your names now and not lose any fans. So that's great. Okay.
Can I just say, I didn't say anything about you, Catherine, whilst on stage.
Yeah. You didn't.
You didn't. Because when I told my mum I had to roast you, she said I've got to be careful with burning plastic.
Yeah. Very dangerous.
She would look upset if she was physically able to.
I really like you both. I think you're both super talented, and I enjoyed this lesbian roast.
Yeah.
Thank you. For me, by a Jewish hair, it's Sarah.
I had Catherine, I had you 4-1 on the gags, but it's 2-1 here. That means you've got it. Sarah is the winner.
Sarah wins!
What an Andrew's weaknesses. He's small. If we do actually have to fight, I just think I've got the edge in terms of pushing him off the side of the stage.
Tactics? I don't need them. When you genuinely hate somebody like I hate Mark Watson, I'm just gonna let it all out. Mark's weaknesses. He's an alcoholic, he's a gambler, he writes terrible books.
I'm gonna go in there to kill. And I don't say that often, because normally it's legally not appropriate.
He tortures dogs. You ever seen a puppy in a bath with a toaster? Mark has. Yesterday.
Let's hear it for Mark Watson. And Andrew Maxwell. All right. Battlers, here are your rules. Rule 1, it's 5 jokes apiece. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. And Rule 3, Andrew, if you're gonna bomb, do what all Irish people do and phone ahead. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Well, I know Mark suffers with anxiety that can be exacerbated by having to wait, so Andrew.
Okay. You ready, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready? Yeah. Let's roast!
Look at Mark Watson. Oh, he's always so nervy looking. Relax, dude. I haven't got your laptop. Mark actually grew up before vaccinations, but he still ended up autistic.
Pretty unpleasant, that. A pleasure to be roasted by Ireland's leading Hitler impersonator. A lot of you probably won't recognise Andrew by sight because he doesn't have much of a TV career, but you may recognise his voice from X on the Beach or his face from any lesbian that's taken testosterone implants, basically.
Look at the state of this guy. We're the same age. Look at him. You're so ill-looking, Mark. Honestly, Mark looks so ill. His own children took him to Disneyland. Look at him.
If we're talking about physical appearance, we need to address the fact that if you're in the studio audience, I need to describe him to you because he's too small to make out with the naked eye. But basically, he's got this sort of short, boyish, floppy fringe, which goes quite well with his short, boyish, floppy cock.
This show this guy made himself famous for in the Edinburgh Festival for doing 24-hour-long improv shows, all stooped over. Stoopy over, that's what I call you. Or Hunchback of Not a Plan. Actually, I call him Not Quasimodo. Because this man is so anonymous as a human being, he doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, he's really stepped it up now, the old Poundland Bono. Well, I hate the way this keeps coming back to physical appearance, but come on, mate. You look like a cross between an American high school shooter and the gym coach that's been grooming the same guy.
Last joke! Mark is not only a comedian, he's also written 5 books. Has anybody read them? Exactly.
It was nearly everyone.
Exactly, Mark. If you write books and nobody reads them, you're just a blogger who's bad for the environment.
To be fair, again, I can't really stand up to that kind of artistic criticism because we're looking at a guy that's... He's worked on X on the Beach Series 1, X on the Beach Series 2, X on the Beach Series 3. There's almost nothing this guy can't turn his hand to. And to be fair, I'm not doing that work down. He serves an important function on X on the Beach, which is his voice. Is what teenage boys listen to really hard to prevent themselves from coming too early in the episode.
Yes. Jimmy!
The budget Bono I thought was a fine line. I mean, Mark, your physical appearance is that of someone losing a cowardly battle with cancer.
A cowardly battle with cancer.
Yeah, he looks like the guy from the Where's Wally books losing a cowardly battle with cancer. You hear about the brave battles, but they're not all brave. Sometimes it's a stooped-over dude going, I don't like this.
Huge moment now if I reveal I have got cancer, Jimmy has to salvage his career.
You know what, I've been through bigger storms, I'll be all right. Andrew, you've been in comedy for 20 years, you've been on TV twice. What's the secret of your success?
I pay my taxes.
What do you think, Jonathan?
Well, as Mark pointed out, there was a lot of stuff about appearance, and rightly so, because you're a couple of weird-looking motherfuckers.
I'm basically wearing a shell suit then,
yeah,
to be fair.
But I've always wondered what it would look like if they shaved and skinned Chewbacca, and Mark, you've answered that question. And what's going on with you there? It's like with those little tights on, you look like you're trying to look like a fucking leprechaun. I would thought you'd want to get away from those things.
OK, who have you got as a winner, Jonathan?
I've got it too close to call, I really have. I love Poundland Hitler, I loved Floppy Cock, you know that about me.
You love...
You know what, by a whisper, I'm afraid, sorry Andrew, I'm going to give it to Mark. By a whisper.
Well, that could be, Andrew. That could be a sympathy vote, because Mark's not got long left. Catherine, what do you think?
Well, I just think it's so amazing to have you both here up past 9 o'clock at your age. I loved both roasts. I love both comedians, but I'm a fan of X on the Beach. There is nothing more that I want to see from television than people confronting people they fucked before in like high-pressure situations on television. Andrew voices that for me. I listen to it, and it does stop me from coming too soon. For me, it's Andrew.
Well, I think it's a close one. I thought you had some very, very strong lines, Mark, but I think Andrew, because of the Quasimodo line, his own children take him to Disneyland, I'm going to say Andrew Maxwell.
Welcome to the Irish, Andrew wins!
The game plan is to go in hard and fast and long, but, you know, he might like that too much.
Sure, Darren's gonna come at me being like, oh, he's gay, he's so flamboyant. I'm gonna take that as a compliment because it means I'm very well dressed.
Yeah, we're more similar than you think. Actually, the one thing we both have in common is we both don't tan.
Do you know how many black men I have slept with to get the vitriol to go up against Darren? But the answer's a lot.
Things are about to get tough as we got a former bouncer taking on a black belt in Taekwondo. It's Birmingham versus Manchester, broke black versus broke back, attack the block versus attack the cock. Give it up for Darren Harriott. And Stephen Bailey. Wow. Interesting, having you two must mean we couldn't afford Dame Baptiste or Joe Lycett. Here are your rules. Here are the rules, gentlemen. Rule 1, it's 5 jokes each. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. And Rule 3, remember Steven's rule of thumb. If it's smaller than a thumb, he's not interested. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Well, I mean, I'm very curious to see Steven's opening.
Anytime, baby, anytime.
Stephen can go first then, great.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Are we ready?
Darren, you grew up in Birmingham, and at the age of 13, you started carrying a knife for your own protection, which is a really stupid thing to do, because you could have done more damage with those fucking teeth.
Stephen Bailey is a gay northern ginger. I don't know what's gonna kill you first, the pasties or the natural sunlight.
Unfortunately, Darren's dad died in prison. You know what they say, once you go black, you'll never go back. Do you know what else isn't coming back? Your dead dad.
Yes, my dad did commit suicide in prison, which is what your dad wanted to do the first time he saw you try on your mum's heels. Stephen, you look like Mick Hucknall if he was a bingo caller. Mick Hucknall is perfect because the name for your arsehole is simply red.
Okay, look. Darren, there's something almost musical about your voice, which is no surprise considering it looks like you've got half a fucking piano in your mouth. I'm really happy that you're not gay, because it'd be like shoving me knob in a NutriBullet. That's fair.
Stephen, you look like Chucky if he shopped at ASOS.
Don't you applaud him going after my clothes? This is top man's finest. Do you know what, though? I must say, Darren, you're a very well-rounded individual, and I think that comes from being raised by a very strong, supportive mother and a dead dad. That's dead, babe.
That's dead, babe.
Stephen likes to tell people he grew up on the mean streets of Manchester. Any street's mean when you look like a magician who's moonlighting as his own assistant.
Last joke.
Do you know what, though, Darren? What I will say about you is you aim to break down stereotypes, and that's what you say you do. And I think that's true because your penis is so small, it didn't even make me bleed. And I'm a bleeder.
Wow.
This hurts, baby.
This is great. The last time I saw a ginger punch above his weight on TV, I was watching the royal wedding.
That was awesome. Judge, what do you like, 50 pence?
50 pence I like. I had Kanye West Midlands.
Is that what this is? I just stand here and you fuckers get to roast me? What the fuck?
Speaking of roasting, I would like to be the villain in this Oreo. I would just like to say that. You are two very attractive black men.
OK, I mean, I thought you were both really, really funny. Some great jokes. I particularly liked the line, "Your dad's dead, babe."
Yeah.
Just thrown away, your dad's dead, babe. Something. What did you make of this?
Really funny. I love he looks like Chucky if he dressed at ASOS, which is really just an observation, not a joke. I mean, it's right there. But it's the first time that Brian's warning where he says you can do anything, nothing's off limit apart from physical contact, because, Darren, you could tear him a new arsehole, and we know he'd fucking love it. But I thoroughly enjoyed both your performances, but I'm going to go with Darren on this because I love punching above your weight. Also, I'll be honest with you, I'm far more frightened of Darren than I am of Stephen.
I'm more offended about the ASOS thing, right, than anything else.
I mean, it's a great suit, if only it fitted. Catherine, what do you think?
Do you know what? This was great to see you together. It was like a BBC Three documentary about a gang member coming face to face with his biggest phobia. I enjoyed it. I'm going to award it to Stephen Bailey.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like, yeah. I think just overall, because you went there, I mean, partly because Darren gave you the ammunition, but, Stephen, I think you maybe took this with the dead dad NutriBullet cock. I mean, I think pound for pound, you did it.
weird that we're friends with such a big age gap. She looks like a teacher that fucked me when I was a student and carried on the relationship for 9 years.
I'm going to win this roast battle. I've got years on Matt Richardson. I have trodden on men bigger than him. This battle is mine.
I feel confident, but you never know. She's wiser than me, she's older than me, and she's a sneaky bitch.
Things are about to get personal, folks. It's friend versus friend, redhead versus pinhead, dinner lady versus never been in a lady. Go fucking crazy for Angela Barnes. And Matt Richardson! Here are your rules. Rule 1, it's 5 jokes apiece.
Okay.
Rule 2, nothing's off limits except for physical contact. Rule 3, don't take too long. Remember, Matt has to be home early because it's a school night. Jimmy, who do you want to go first?
I think we should let Matt go first before he hits puberty and things get awkward.
All right, Matt, you ready?
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Barnesy, mate, I've been dreading this for so many reasons, but mostly because you're not interesting enough to have anything offensive to say about you. You're so boring, you're basically the Enya of comedy. You're famous, but no one knows why the fuck you are, and everyone wants you just to sail the fuck away.
Oh, Matt, you're just jealous because I've been on Mock the Week, and the most famous thing you've been in is Ashley James off of Made in Chelsea. Matt, bless him, he does get fed up. He does get fed up of being mistaken for the more famous Radio 1 DJ, Matt Edmondson. That's why he started wearing those glasses, and now people think he's Sue Perkins. You did actually go for Sue's job on the Bake Off when she left, but you didn't get it, did you? Because Channel 4 said that their diversity quota didn't include erectile dysfunction.
One of the things I found out about you, Angela, is you were born prematurely, and that must be awful knowing that you're so terrible, even your mum's vagina couldn't handle you anymore. But it was quite good preparation for setting you up by being rejected by genitals all over the world for the next 40 years.
I'll tell you what, mate. Tell you what, you'd have to be a premature baby to come earlier than you. Matt was on the cover of Heat magazine once, ladies and gentlemen, or 12 times if you count the ones he made himself on Moonpig.
Everyone assumed tonight that I was going to go after Angela's looks, because that's an easy thing to do. But I think Angela looks like a strong, confident, beautiful woman, or at least she will do when she's finished transitioning. Because at the moment, she looks like someone trying to do Sharon Osbourne on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Matt, last time I looked, you didn't have to be pretty to do comedy, and the last time you made a room full of people laugh was when you asked to be on Live at the Apollo. Matt, look at you, bless your heart. You're so pale, I worry about you. You look like a mini milk in a wig. Have you noticed your head is like the same width as your neck, which I suppose made it a lot easier for you to slide out of Simon Cowell's arsehole?
I had to slide in it to get that job. Now, Angela and I have known each other since we both started comedy. I'd refer to her as my big comedy sister, but let's be honest, look at the age difference. If we're going by how many eggs she's got left, which is frankly the same amount as there is in a vegan's fridge, she's more like my comedy nan. Trust me, her ovaries are weaker than Darren's dad's pulse. Sorry, mate.
You may not know this, Matt claims to be bisexual, although I don't think it counts just because you look at yourself in the mirror when you're fucking your girlfriend. Matt does like to date slim, androgynous women because he's scared of fucking a real boy.
Angela, I realise this roast might be quite unusual for you because the last time you were in a roast, there was only 2 guys roasting you, and it was just to fill a hole left by the fact your dad never loved you.
Matt does host a lot of shit TV shows, so much so he's been sponsored by Imodium. All the TV shows that Matt has hosted have been terminated after 1 series. He is the TV equivalent of the morning after pill. Seriously, if you're a TV producer, you should book Matt, right? Because if you do, you'll be like an air stewardess in the 1950s. That is, you'll definitely be fucked by the pilot. I love you.
I love you too, mate. Can we still be friends?
Maybe.
What do you make of this, Jonathan?
Well, when they first came out on stage, I thought we were watching like a low-rent production of The Graduate. And it was interesting because you didn't go for the physical side of each other too much. I mean, more an age thing. You went for he is a weird-looking guy. I mean, you've got kind of a wonky face. Your face is more crooked than his accountant. You know what? It's very close to cool, but I think I've got Angela out there ahead there because I loved the personal attack of the Ashley James mentioned at the beginning there.
She actually cheated on him, so Matt has tasted another man's sperm, but it's when it was trickling out of her.
Wow.
What do you think, Catherine? Who have you got?
Matt.
Yes.
Great to have you here. I know you host a radio show on Virgin, so it's interesting to see how you cope with an audience. You nailed it. You nailed it. And I know Angela very well. She does lots of good jokes on Mock the Week and gets so much Twitter hate. We now refer to her as the white Diane Abbott. She's an inspirational female comedian signed with a prestigious agent and has climbed her way to be one of the 30 or 40 most important clients there.
You know, Catherine, you are an inspiration to me as well. So much so I applied for a job at Hooters, but they wouldn't have me because I could fill in the application form.
Trap. That is the trap. For me, the best joke came right at the end with the like an air stewardess in the 1950s. The channel would be fucked by the pilot, Matt, if they put you in it.
It's true.
And so, my winner is Angela.
I mean, I thought it was a fantastic battle. Angela, you got this. Congratulations.
Your winner, Angela Bourne!
How have I been preparing for the battle? Of air punching, air kicking, and just psyching myself the fuck up.
What you Naz fear about me, I've got big hair and lots of weapons hidden in here.
The main difference between Rose and I is that Rose is a loser and I am a winner.
I think I'm going to win the battle because I deserve it, and Naz is an entitled prick.
Some international flair, folks. Give it up for Rose Matafeo. Here are your rules. Rule 1, it's 5 jokes each. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. And Rule 3, if it's not going well, don't worry. It's just because you're a terrible comedian. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Well, I mean, it says here that Naz is the heir to the Ottoman Empire, which I'm guessing is a furniture store in Croydon. I imagine you've got to open up early, so why don't you go first?
Thank you. Hey, you ready?
I'm ready.
Are we ready? Where's Rose?
Rose's parents are both Rastafarians, which means they don't get a lot done. In fact, I still owe your dad 20 quid for sucking my dick. I also owe your mum money, but that's just for cleaning my parents' house.
So, as we mentioned, Naz is Turkish, and that's not the joke. He is actually Turkish royalty. He is 17th in line for the throne. But sorry, ladies, he's taken by his own cousin. He's continuing the family tradition of fucking his own cousin there. Just like your daddy and your granddaddy before you. Those ears only happen when something has genetically fucked up, right?
Yes, I have big ears, but at least I don't look like Barbara Streisand fuck Napoleon Dynamite.
That sounds hot.
Rose Matafeo looks like she's constantly wearing a disguise. You look like every character from Guess Who. Except no one's looking for you.
So, Naz, if your hairline were any thinner, the Red Cross would have to send aid packages in there. And I've got to explain that, sorry. The Red Cross is a charity, Naz, something that you've never donated to because you spend all your money on cocaine and Lacoste polo necks.
Rose, of course, is half Samoan, half Scottish, which means she's violent and uncivilized, as well as violent and uncivilized. It must be very difficult getting dressed in the morning. Shall I wear my grass skirt or my tartan one? Shall I wear my necklace made of dicks or my necklace made of deep-fried dicks?
Stop flirting with me.
No.
You know, it's really cute, and it's so refreshing to see a straight white man not succeed in comedy right now. It's
Last joke!
Rose looks like Colonel Gaddafi had a sex change, but then changed back. After he died.
Okay, that's what he looks like, is a male teacher who gets a job at an all-girls school hoping to find a girlfriend. He's the sort of guy who'll be like, oh, do any of you girls need a ride home? I'll let you smoke in the car if you suck my dick. And if I jizz on your uniform skirt, which I will, I'll pay for the dry cleaning because I'm a good guy.
Come on over. Jimmy, who did you like on this episode of Catfish?
What? I thought Dobby the house elf was very good. Well, what did you think, Jonathan?
Well, I liked it a lot. I loved the fact that you went for appearance a lot, although I had Rose ahead on points there because most of the things that Naz said about Rose weren't true, you know. I mean, the Gaddafi thing I loved. I loved that. But I didn't see its basis in fact, whereas everything you said about him looking like a kind of creepy pedo teacher, I mean, that was on the nail. And the Guess Who moment, anyone who references a much-loved children's game in a bitter, vicious roast gets her prize for me, so that was amazing. I enjoyed it very much indeed. Catherine.
What did you think, Catherine?
Well, I love these two. Naz, I know you make incredible sketches, so it's good to see you having a go at comedy tonight.
Wow.
Rose, I know you're a big fan of Michael Jackson, and I can tell why, because you like the abuse of small white boys.
I thought Naz had some incredible jokes. I thought the violent and uncivilized was a remarkable moment about the Scottish and the Samoans. The Samoans have had it too easy on this show for too long. Yeah, it's about time someone brought
I'm
it.
distantly related to The Rock, so fucking watch out.
You 17th in line.
Who have you got as a winner, Jonathan?
Rose has it for me. So, yeah.
OK. Catherine, what do you think?
Listen, I thought you were both very funny, but a lot of Naz's slams against Rose in the roast were compliments, you know?
It's close, right?
It's very close. I'm giving it to Rose.
Well, I mean, For what it's worth, I scored it 3-2 to Naz, but it's worth literally fuck all. Rose, you've won.
My main fear from Rosie, probably getting covered in some of her saliva when she talks.
I mainly fear that a leg will fall off and then they'll fall on top of me.
What are Rosie's weaknesses? Look at her. Have a conversation with her. There's your weaknesses.
I am gonna destroy Brooker with my 10 working fingers.
Okay, it's Palsy versus Palsy. Give it up for Rosie Jones. And Alex Brooker. Oh, this is awesome. I feel like I'm on an episode of Chernobyl's Got Talent.
Nice one, Brian. Okay, Brian, before we get on with the Blue Badge special, I want to just check in with these two. Now, so you two wanted to roast each other, right?
Yeah. I quite like the idea of being part of the first roast battle where people are taking bets on who's going to fall over first. And if you are taking bets, we filmed that walk-on last series. That's how long it took her.
All right, Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Well, let's shake things up and have Rosie go first.
Rosie, we ready?
Yeah, I am.
Are we ready?
I like Alex because he's the answer to the question, what would happen if a beached whale fucked a crab?
I'll tell you who I feel sorry for more than us tonight, Rosie, and that's the subtitler. But honestly, people are going to be looking at Rosie and they're going to be wondering, you know, what's happened to her, you know, why she ended up in this way. And as a fellow disabled person, I think it's only right that I'm in a position to explain to you. So what Rosie suffers from is a condition known as being terminally unfuckable. See, that's a face that I think of when I'm trying to delay ejaculation. So.
Just had a second baby. Did you snip that umbilical cord with a claw?
For people that have just tuned into Comedy Central, this isn't the Sci-Fi Channel. And the reason why I'm sweating so much isn't heat, it's because I'm worried about catching what she's got. But anyway, I consider Rosie as the Rose West of comedy because I think she's highly likely to die before she finishes her sentence.
Alex has arm and leg issues, and when he was a baby, the doctors did everything they could, apart from the obvious, infanticide. Now, if you were Chinese, you'd be down the toilet.
People will kind of look at us two up here and they'll think that this is a diversity booking. That's why they've got us on. But I don't look at Rosie and see a disabled person. I don't look at Rosie and see a comedian. What I see when I look at Rosie is just a total waste of a cracking pair of tits.
Last joke.
Some people believe that disabled people are being punished for past life sins. So, what the fuck did you do? Did you think you were a baby?
Sorry, Rose, I was worried that some people are going to have to switch over to +1 to hear the end of that joke. I always thought that it would be a dream come true to have a woman look at me and drool. Do you know what? Actually, just for health and safety reasons, I'm a little bit worried, so hang on. We'll just get this out.
But you need it for all your fucking sweat.
Jimmy, Juggy. That battle had everything. The only thing missing was chromosomes.
I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed that. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. A lot of people say women aren't funny, but you'd be hard-pressed to look at Rosie and not laugh. And anyone that says Alex isn't funny has never seen him try and get out of a hammock. This may be the most fun I've ever had on the TV show. I mean, it's unbelievably good.
What a golden age for British TV.
Well, this may be the end of it, my friend. I thought you were absolutely fantastic. I mean, really, really brilliant jokes. Well constructed, well put together.
Enjoyed it very much. Really smart jokes from you, Rosie. Your palsy was cerebral as fuck. I mean, maybe some constructive criticism. I would have liked to see you speaking more clearly and quickly, Rosie. That would have helped. But it was so very close. It did come down to the last round. And for me, that went to Rose.
Jonathan, what did you make of this?
Rosie, I thought you were great. You started off a bit wobbly, then it was a bit shaky in the middle, and then maybe you I think you see exactly where I'm going there. I mean, I know a lot about Alex, of course. I love watching you on TV in the last leg. And for me, this is what decided. You brought out the prop. She threw it right back at you. It goes to Rosie for thinking on the feet.
I mean, I thought you both had incredible jokes. A very, very close call. But it goes to the very, very deserving, very, very funny Rosie. Yeah.